The Faustival is upon us. 5 local theater companies are collaborating on this project, which will bring 5 adaptations of the Faust legend to St. Louis stages before the end of the year. ERA, Equally Represented Arts, is currently presenting the first installment, and it's a hoot. Does hoot seem like an odd term of praise to apply to a piece based on one of the iconic stories of Western culture? Not if you're familiar with ERA's earlier work. This company demonstrates its regard for the classics by bouncing off of them. In this case, the bounce might as well come from a trampoline. The essence of the Faust story is that the title character makes a pact with the devil, selling his eternal soul in exchange for earthly success. The first printed version of the story was a German pamphlet dating from 1587. An English translation appeared 5 years later. It was the basis for Christopher Marlowe's famous play, Dr. Faustus. Who hasn't heard this version's most famous line, "Is this the face that launched 1,000 ships?" The next great literary adaptation was Goethe's celebrated Faust, a 2-part closet drama. Part 1 was the primary source for the ERA ensemble members in devising their script. Its full title is Faust Go Down with All the Rest. The subtitle is a line from the speech in which Faust explains what he is seeking. In ERA's printed material, the S in the word rest is a $sign. It is the first sign that this script's focus is on the corrupting influence of money. The site of the production is Foam, a hip venue for coffee, cocktails, and music at the corner of Jefferson and Cherokee. When you enter through the side door, you are given a bingo card, and you have to sign a contract for your soul before you can proceed to the bar. Before the play begins, an amplified voice calls out the bingo numbers, while a singer repeatedly encourages the audience members to act like they would in any other bar. The local band, Kid Scientist, is already playing. It provides the music for what the company calls a postmodern rock opera adaptation. As in Goethe, the action on earth is preceded by a prologue in which God makes a bet with Mephistopheles on whether Faust can resist temptation. But this is not a conventional confrontation of good and evil. As the company's press release says, this is a show in which heaven is the bank and everyone prays to the almighty dollar. Much of the ensuing action is presented in the form of a television game show, an apt choice. Game shows are the perfect exemplar of the debasing impact of greed on contemporary society, and they're a lot of fun to watch. Co-directors Lucy Cashion and Gabe Taylor have wisely cultivated a Brechtian acting style that distances the audience from the characters while underscoring the mockery. The purpose of the satire is to amuse us, not to put across a lesson we don't already know. The humor in the script registers again and again, thanks to the performances by Joe Taylor as Faust, Will Bonfiglio as Mephistopheles, Alicen Moser as Margaret, Gabe Taylor as Wagner, Miranda Jagels Felix as Dineras, Erica Withrow as Dark Pearl, and Grace Langford as God and Margaret's mother. Joe Taylor is also the composer and music director, performing with musicians Audrey Morris, Jacob Stern, and Dustin Schultz. Meredith LaBounty designed the costumes, Ben Lewis the lighting and the video. I hope the rest of the Faustival is entertaining as ERA's contribution.
I'm glad you mentioned that the acting seemed Brechtian, because I've always felt that way about Lucy Cashion's work. Maybe she'll do Brecht one of these days, but she seems to be better at the alienation effect than Brecht was himself.
Well, I enjoyed it a lot.